And Thomas, Emmanuel Macron was pretty frank today, standing up to Putin publicly, perhaps more than any other world leader has done recently. How will that have gone down with Vladimir Putin?
Well, look, the thing is, the Russian leader is an old hand at this. He's been in Power as president or around it as prime minister for 17 years now. He's been to a lot of these press conferences. He's seen just about everything. This really, for him, there wouldn't have been anything in there that would have that really would have perturbed him or put him off one iota. He's a pretty stiff character when it comes to these kind of appearances. He also knows that Macron was doing this, as you suggested, partly it's for domestic audiences. He's a very young president. There's that concern in France. Is he going to look presidential? Putin's well aware of the politics around this. There's absolutely no doubt about it. On occasion, though, there's no doubt that we did see a slightly viperish Putin. He did look occasionally just a little bit rattled. Certainly, the comments about the allegations around hacking, the Russian hackers released those emails from the Macron campaign just before the second round of the presidential election, or again, suggestions that he was offering tacit support to Marine Le Pen and in meeting up with her in Moscow, saying, look, this is we're a sovereign country. It's my decision as president to invite whoever I want, and that's my position.
And Thomas, of course, Vladimir Putin wouldn't come to France in the first place unless he was hoping to get something out of the meeting. Will he go back to Moscow with what he came for?
Well, look, the expectations were fairly low for this meeting, certainly to begin with, because the relations between France and Russia have been at a very low ebb in recent times. But also, this is a meeting of two leaders. It's the first time that they've met. It's really about getting a feel for each other. Certainly nothing was signed at this meeting. There was no suggestion that it would be signed. From Vladimir Putin's point of view, perhaps the key subject here that he really got a feel for where Macron stands, the French president, is on Syria. Now, some of it he would have liked, some of it he certainly wouldn't have liked. Now, what was music to his ears, there's no doubt, is quite a number of sentences from Macron on terror and how it would be good to improve cooperation with Russia in fighting Islamic State in Syria, and perhaps leave the question of what happens to Bashar al-Assad slightly to one side, not front and centre as it was under the previous French president François Hollande. Of course, that is a subject, terror, that's very close to Russia after recent terror attacks, but also a subject where Russia holds a lot of the cards because of its importance in the Syria conflict, backing Bashar al-Assad. What he won't have liked, however, are Macron's comments on Syria about if it's found that Bashar al-Assad proved that he used chemical weapons, that for Macron would be a red line, that he'd be willing to order France's military to intervene in that situation, and there would be consequences for Bashar al-Assad. Now, that is a direct challenge to Vladimir Putin, and certainly Vladimir Putin wouldn't have appreciated that in a diplomatic sense.
Thomas, thank you very much indeed. Thomas Lowe there reporting from Moscow.